Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Deercast. Today Tom and I are here on some new ground in Buckinghamshire. There's quite a lot of fallow here on this ground, so we're looking at quite a few of the high seats, eagerly awaiting the 1st of August. And we just thought we'd give you a little video talking about what we do when we go and do a sort of high seat audit, things to look for and remember and think about. First things first, look at the material used. Obviously this is a metal high seat, so you haven't got to worry about rot. But on my wooden high seats, are the sort of legs at the bottom where they're in contact with the ground are normally the first to go. So what I do is normally I cut off maybe an inch or two of the bottoms, or you can sort of soak them in a pot of creosote, soak up a lot of that, and that stops them rotting. Just sort of working up with this one, the ratchet straps that secure it to the tree are obviously immensely important because that's what stops you from falling out. The one on this is alright, but it's a sort of one of the material nylon ratchet straps. They tend to last sort of 4 or 5 years, and I've actually got a sort of backup wire on most of mine that I've put around just as a real backup in case. Other things, sort of foliage around the seats. This one isn't too bad, probably does need a little bit of trimming, but it's actually really important to go up and sit in the high seat and just look at the sight lines, look where you think the deer are going to come out, and you might think, oh, there's a couple of branches here and there that you can nip off, and that might mean the difference between you being able to see and shoot a deer or not. Other things in terms of foliage is just making life easy for yourself. You know, if you're going to come down from the high seat at last light and there's kind of like here you've got big branches in the way, you know, I know myself, I just walk straight into that and make a big snap or hurt myself or slip over or whatever. So it's just kind of, you know, working out what you're going to do, remembering that it's going to be completely dark when either you're getting in or getting out of it, and just making life as easy for yourself as possible. Another thing to think about is kind of very boring, but health and safety. Here in this wood there's a footpath that runs kind of not that far away from here, and people can see the high seat. You know, children climbing up and injuring themselves and all that sort of thing. So it's kind of making it clear to people that this isn't something to be climbed. So, you know, signage. Ideally, you can get those kind of ladder guards if you're really worried about it, to stop people climbing up. You know, inevitably if someone's going to do it, then they're going to do it. But it's kind of removing the liability from yourself as the person who owns the bit of equipment. So yeah, some signage saying, you know, no access, climb at your own risk, sort of thing, is often not a bad idea. Other things, kind of normally we'll go around in the spring and do a bit of painting, just any bits of rust, a bit of WD-40 on the bolts, so when you do need to take it apart, you know, it's a bit easier. Replacing foam and little bits and bobs like that, really. So yeah, that's our sort of brief thoughts on high seat maintenance. Join us again for the next video.